Welcome to My Money, Your Money, a weekly talk show on generational wealth, wealth management, and personal finance, and more. Now introducing your host, Miss Brigette Lumpkins.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to My Money, Your Money, brought to you by our generous sponsors, DeMesman and Dover Accident Attorneys. I'm your host, Brigette Lumpkins, and we are gathered here today to talk about all things personal finance and wealth creation and intergenerational wealth transfer. I earned an MBA from Wharton, and I've enjoyed a long career on Wall Street at firms like Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers, working with institutional clients, private clients, and raising capital for investment funds. Our guest, Tenisha Williams, founder and CEO of Elite Realty Partners, is a trailblazer in the real estate industry, producing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales over her career and empowering others to do the same. Welcome, Tenisha, and thanks for joining us.
Wow. Thank you so much, Brigette. It is truly an honor to be here today. I am so very grateful. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So I gave a brief intro. Why don't you tell us a bit more about you?
Wow. I'm just so grateful. To be honest with you, it feels like a big whirlwind has happened in a very small amount of time. I am the CEO and founder of Elite Realty Partners, and in just under 3 years, we've done so much, and it all just started with trust, faith, and having big passion, right? And not just passion for real estate, but really all about passion for helping people do things that they never thought that they could do, from buyers, sellers, and now real estate agents.
Well, that's great. Can you get a little bit more specific? Because that was very heady stuff, but can you get more specific? Tell us a bit more about your story. I know it's been a meteoric rise to the top for you, which I'm thrilled to see, but tell us more. We want more tea.
Okay, let me just give you a little bit more tea. I think being a teenage mother, I actually was pregnant at 15 years old. I had my daughter, who's 20 years old now. I had her at 16 years old, and I truly believe that experience gave me the tenacity that has now put me in the position that I am in today. I actually had her at 16, went off to FAMU with her, right on my hip. Graduated from Florida A&M University. Go Rattlers!
Go Rattlers! Yeah.
In 2007, and we a little while after that, in 2010, we came back to Miami. Met my husband not too long after that. It really seems like a fairy tale, but it's true. Met my husband not too long after that. Got a blended family, but we bought our first property in 2014, Miss Brigette, and I was really in pursuit of finding my purpose. My husband and I, we had been reading The Purpose-Driven Life, and I was a correction officer at that time. And I just knew that it was something more. I was a correction officer for Miami-Dade County. Okay. So they like to say, yeah, a lot of people call it the zoo because anything goes in Miami-Dade corrections. So I knew that it was something more for my life. And as I went on that journey of fasting and praying, and we bought our first property not too long after that, it's like God just sat in my spirit that, hey, this is something you would be good at. And I coined myself as your favored broker instead of favorite, just because I knew that it was going to be the favor of God that was going to put me in position to help a whole lot of people win. So that is where it started.
That's a really powerful story. So you're saying that you didn't choose real estate, it chose you. It came to you from your spiritual journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely came from that journey. After we bought our first property, and then I went on to take that test. I literally took a week off from work, took a crash exam for 7 days, passed on the first try, and immediately jumped in head first, helping buyers find properties.
Now, I really admire this and respect this so much. But one of the things that I've observed when I talk to people, and even in my own life, different story, but is that how do you get that first property, right? Like the biggest obstacle to entrepreneurs that I observe professionally, personally, is that startup capital, that $5,000, that $10,000, that loan, that mortgage to start your first property. If you're a corrections officer, I mean, that pays, but like, does it pay buy a house money? Like, how did you and your husband plan for that and prepare yourself and put yourselves in a position to take that first step? Because I guarantee there's people on this line right now who love your story and may be similarly situated, but don't know how to make that first step happen.
Yeah, and I can truly resonate with that. So much so, Miss Brigette, that to be honest, we have buyer consultations with buyers who are not even ready now, only
Right.
because I remembered how much I didn't know. So I've always, since 2015, wanted to help buyers and tell them what to do and how to do it. So truly, it's all about knowing how to save. A lot of people, we do know that Black home ownership is at an all-time low. So we're trying to change that narrative. And it's basically because of fear, right? Not having the knowledge on how to save and not knowing how to treat money. You want to treat money literally, like a person. You want to nurture money. You want to treat it well. My mom always taught me it's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So we teach buyers to get a separate account that you don't have a debit card to, right? And just continuously make those deposits. We also teach our buyers to pull out a certain amount of money per week, put yourself on an allowance. And I most definitely teach buyers to quarterly go over your bank statements and see exactly where your money is going so you can be a better steward over your money the next quarter. So we just teach them a lot of money saving habits in addition to teaching them how to build and maintain their credit.
Now that's great concrete advice, because one of the themes that I have observed from our guests over the course of doing this show is that, people have a lot of psychological and behavioral barriers that are holding them back. Like they may actually make enough money, and there might be enough money there, but the way they're behaving or their money habits, it's really holding them back. And their perhaps psychological attachment to what they think, they need to be spending their money on. So moving on to real estate. So you said this came to through your sort of spiritual journey. Why, however, is real estate looked at as one of the best industries to build generational wealth? Because I could see you having decided secularly to go into real estate. You didn't necessarily need a vision, right, to make that happen. So tell me more about why real estate is a good avenue or vehicle to build generational wealth that you can pass on to your children. Because I see you have 4, right? So that's a lot of kids. So you need a lot of real estate to get them all covered.
Listen, I need a lot of real estate. I have 5-year-old twins, so we've been having to buy double, from since they were born, and I'm just so very grateful for it. The truth is that real estate is one of the highest ways to obtain wealth. It's one of the highest ways to obtain wealth. You can earn residual income. You can flip properties, right? And as a matter of fact, even if you work a 9 to 5, because some people get a little confused. They think, hey, real estate has to be a full-time industry, but technically it doesn't. You can begin, if you're a correctional officer, a police officer, or maybe private sector, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You want to take the time to invest in real estate because that can become your retirement income. Right? When you are buying and holding and you have people paying you rent every single month, that is what is creating that generational wealth. That is the wealth that you could pass down to your children and your children's children's children so they can benefit off of all of your properties that have recurring cash flow, if you will, coming in every single month. So my husband and I, we've been flipping properties, and it can be very lucrative because the truth is there are a lot of people out here who are facing foreclosure and facing situations and they want help. So we have put ourselves in a position to where we can help them. We have South Florida Home Relief, where we give relief to several homeowners who are facing situations. And because they know that they can trust us and we're actually going to help them get to the next chapter in their life, we're able to also use that asset and gain a return and help them at the same time.
So how do you go about building a successful real estate portfolio? I mean, you told us how you got to property 1. How do you get to property 2, especially if you still have your day job? For example, I've worked at my day job 7 days out of the last 7. 7 days out of the last 6, it feels like. You know what I mean? So, and it's all consuming. So how does someone who has that kind of consuming day job do it? Do they outsource it to a management company or to you? Is there any program by which someone can get exposure to owning real estate without actually having to do the work? I can't imagine managing a flip in South Florida where people don't necessarily speak English. I feel like I would need somebody to speak Spanish. So how do you navigate that if you have other obligations?
Oh, I can truly relate to that because my husband, he's the main contact, the main person of the flips, and he
Mm-hmm.
has elite things going on because he is my partner in elite as well. But a
Mm-hmm.
project manager is definitely beneficial. If you have
Okay.
never bought a property, we always recommend your first property be a multi-unit because a lot of people don't
Okay.
know you can buy up to 4 units with an FHA mortgage, 3.5% down. So if
Okay.
not, if you wait till your second or third property, now you're putting 10, 15, or 20% down.
20%.
So after
Yeah.
you get that
Yeah.
multi-unit, I definitely recommend a property manager, a property management company that can help you manage that particular property, or just find out and start working it yourself. Just fit it into
Mhm.
your schedule because before you hire a property management company, you would want to know how it works, right? So at
Right.
least
You
make
want to know what you're buying. You want to know what you're paying them for. And also that's going to erode your profits too.
absolutely,
Because you have to pay them. Okay.
absolutely.
Um, that's that's really helpful. So what are the secrets? I mean, this is kind of a huge question to building a successful real estate empire. Like what you just gave me some nuggets, which is how to save and very tactical and practical advice, like opening another bank account to start your savings, hiring a property manager, buying a multifamily unit, and I presume you mean and live in it,
Oh,
right?
yeah. So for an FHA mortgage, you must live in one of the
Right.
units. You know, you
Right.
must you must do that.
Right, right. And I think that I mean, let's be real, everybody's not prepared to do that, right? Everyone's not
Right.
prepared to live that lifestyle. They may have a different kind of lifestyle for themselves. If someone isn't prepared to live like that, would you direct them in a different way? Or would you just say, no, you have to suck it up. This is just kind of the best way given your circumstances?
Well, no, so there's a time and place for everything. Even people who aren't ready to technically buy, because we do live where people vacation. So if
Hmm.
they're not even ready for a townhome or a single family home, a condominium is still the same thing. What do I mean by that? Your first property is not your last property. On average,
Right.
now people are only living in homes about 7, 8 years. So
Yeah.
any buyer can start off and go in a different direction until they're ready to do, that thing that I may
Hmm.
have initially suggested. So it's kind of like a
Hmm.
delayed, not denied type of thing, depending on
Right.
where you are in your situation. One of our preferred lenders, Shonda, always says everybody's financial situation is as different and unique as your thumbprint. So we must
Right.
sit down, consult, and see exactly what's best for you as an individual buyer.
Okay. So you mentioned one of your agents. So I want you to talk a bit more about your brokerage and your agency and how many brokers you have, how you recruit them, and what you're looking for when you're bringing people onto your team.
I absolutely love our elite family. We are so different. We are so unique. I like to
Okay.
tell people the truth is we are involuntarily yet unapologetically an all minority brokerage.
Hmm.
And it just starts off with love and passion and understanding that we are better together. No agent is an island. And we truly basically have adopted the No Agent Left Behind Act. Miss
Right.
Brigette, when I tell you we do everything together, we do everything together. We have so many different trainings. We do open houses together. I mean, they're taking trips together, they're going out together, and that is
Okay.
how you truly build a solid team. When everybody is in alignment with the head, right? Not to say that we're perfect, but we understand that we must stand on each other's shoulders in order to get to the top. And that is
Right.
truly what makes us different from other
Right.
brokerages.
Right. So it's a collegial atmosphere, it's a cooperative atmosphere, and not a spirit of sort of competition or a zero sum game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I tell you we call each other elite brothers, elite sisters, this weekend we were celebrating an event and I looked around and I said, wow, it's nothing but elite family here. And it just made my heart feel so good because I realized that, yeah, me being from Dallas, to be honest with you, we moved to Florida when I was 6 years old. So I didn't grow up with
Hmm.
blood family. I grew up with people who became my extended family. And that's what
Hmm.
reminds me of, that
Okay.
family is not always blood, and it
Right.
depends on who you build with, who you connect with, and we are in alignment, and I think that that's what really makes us stand out.
Well, that's beautiful. I mean, I think many people are searching for workplaces, especially now. I think post COVID, I would imagine that, people who had the opportunity to not go into the office and were able to avoid toxic environments are much more attuned with the possibilities of having a productive and collaborative work environment now. So I can imagine that's a real strength for you recruiting agents. And given that I mentioned COVID, can you tell me, I mean, there's a couple things that happen, right? Certain places, everybody sold their house because they were like, get me out of here. In certain places, everybody bought a house because they were like, I want to move there. And South Florida is one of the latter. So how has COVID impacted your business, good or bad?
Oh my God. I have to say bad because I've lost people during this
Oh,
pandemic.
okay.
I've lost
Yeah.
people close to me, very close. But on the business side, oh my, it really blew up. It
Yeah.
really blew up in a very good way. Interest
Mm-hmm.
rates were super low,
Mm-hmm.
and inventory was low, which was causing a lot of competition in the market. And we have more than doubled our numbers during COVID.
Wow.
So shout out to all of our elite brothers and sisters because they pushed through. They pushed through. And I mean, one of our transaction coordinators, she was joking and she was just saying, like, even in the desert, our elite agents are selling houses left and right and back to back. I mean, just
Yeah.
last week we had over 100 under contract. So
Wow.
I'm just so grateful. So COVID affected us, but really in a good way when we're talking business. It
Right.
affected us because we started basically training remotely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of in person. But guess what? We realized that now that we have agents in Port St. Lucie, Orlando, Jacksonville, now everybody gets to train and they still feel the energy even through a computer screen. So,
Mm-hmm. It's remarkable what Zoom can get accomplished. Um,
yeah.
it's definitely been a boon for a lot of businesses. And I want to take pause and just give honor to and offer my condolences to the people you lost and anyone who's lost anyone during COVID, because it has been indeed an extended horrific tragedy, and I don't want to be flip about that. But every cloud has a silver lining, and there have been some positive
Yes.
things that have come out of it too. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. But I don't want to gloss over everything that we've all lost as a result of this pandemic. So
Absolutely.
I think those of us who live here know why the real estate market in South Florida is so desirable. But I'm curious to get your thoughts on how long this gravy train is going to last. Do you see that this is real money? Do you think there's a re-rating? Do you think there's signs of a bubble? Do you have concerns about what happens to home values in 3 years?
So this question is like an everyday, all day question. And I love it
Mhm.
because the truth is that back when the market crashed before, there wasn't as much red tape as there is now to buy a home. The truth
Right.
is sometimes you could go walk into a bank and get them stated income back in those days. The appraisal industry wasn't as regulated. It was just a
Mhm.
lot of things. And the economy basically learned from their mistakes because you
Mhm.
have to jump through several hoops to buy a
Yeah.
home. They have to know that you can afford this home. And I see it
Right.
every day. And it's kind of like when you call the bank and they're asking you all those questions. Yes, it's on your nerves, but it's to
Yeah.
benefit you. And that's what I love. I love the fact that I get to see all of the questions and the underwriter grilling because it makes me feel safe in knowing that our housing market is a little bit more or a lot more secure than it was before. And at this point, inventory is still super low. So as long
Mhm.
as the inventory is low and the demand is high, that causes a strong housing industry. And that is what's
Right.
going on right now. Now, the market is softening up. And what do I mean by that? Not as many buyers are paying above appraisal. Not as many buyers are as aggressive as they were before with
Mhm.
offering over, asking over appraisal. But the holidays are also approaching too. It's the fourth
Mhm.
quarter of the year. So this is not abnormal for this time of year.
Right. So
But
it's
I
a
do
pattern in terms of the cyclicality throughout the year of buying patterns.
exactly. But I
Mhm.
do think that the market is going to level off by the first, second quarter of next year. Not
Yeah.
crash, not tank, but it'll be a compromise. There will be a balance.
Right. Well, that's good. I think that's reassuring because if you're not a homeowner and you want to get into the market, it's terrifying to watch. And if you are go making a lot of money from the sales. It's like, well, when is this going to end, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, a reassuring prediction for many people out here watching who are trying to figure this out. So, as a Black woman who's been so successful in the industry, what advice would you give to others who are trying to be where you are? And I'm talking specifically about Black women because we have our unique position in society, and certain events and circumstances affect us differently from others. And
Oh yeah.
so, how can we harness our unique strengths, which I think include tremendous insight because of the position we occupy in society, and work around the disadvantages, which means maybe less access to capital, not being taken seriously, not getting support, etc.
It is hard being a Black woman in real estate, right? Just like it's hard being a Black woman in this world. But I
Mm-hmm.
believe that through personal development, that will definitely take you over the hump. To be honest with you, I'm at the point in my life where I want to constantly become unrecognizable on a quarterly
Mm-hmm.
basis, on a semi-annual basis. And as long as you are in pursuit to continuously learn more and do more, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter the disadvantages that we face, but your personal development is going to push you through and teach you and grow you to where you always persevere. No matter what
Mm-hmm.
the adversity is, no matter what the disadvantage is, we find a way to figure it out. A lot of us, to be honest with you, we kind of need to think about the things that we want to attain, and then
Mm-hmm.
allow that to make us think about who we need to become to attain those things, because we
Mm-hmm.
may not even have the capacity right now to attain the things that we want. So we have to constantly be in pursuit of personal development. So as a Black
Mm-hmm.
woman, that's what I teach other Black women, and I get to see so many Black women within our brokerage just shine and flourish and grow because we teach so much personal development within the brokerage. So I see the results from it. So if anything, read more, do more, grow more, pray more, and I promise you that will take you on a never ending journey to success.
So, if someone is inspired, and I can't imagine who wouldn't be inspired by your story because it's really inspirational. I think being a teen mom, just getting to college after that is remarkable with your baby, right? So, I mean,
Thank
kudos to
you.
you because I know a lot of people who weren't able to do both and left their children in the care of others. And so I can't imagine how much strength that took from you to do that. So really, honestly, this level of success that you have achieved is not a surprise given the fact that you were able to do that. It takes a lot of grit and perseverance to do that. So really, just I'm so impressed with that. Um,
Wow. Thank
what what do you how is your recruiting going? Can you tell us a little bit more about who you're looking for? What are your expectations for growth in terms of the number of agents? And what qualities are you looking for in the agents? Because I imagine people are going to go to your social media properties, which will drop on the screen here, and then you can mention them at the end. But what are you looking for in terms of agents?
I'm looking for passion. It's kind of the opposite of most brokerages. Most brokers and recruiting managers and sales managers, they're looking for and they're searching for who's doing the numbers, who's producing. I don't care what you're producing. I ask certain questions within the interview because I know that we turn potential agents into producing agents. We have
Mm-hmm.
countless agents from big name brokerages that were not producing, and they come here and they make six figures in 6 months, or 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million in sales. So those
Wow.
are the agents. Yes, those are the agents that I love, that I want, because I want to see you grow. I want to teach you and help you grow. I don't really per se want agents that's already producing. I did it first, but now I feel like this is our calling. Our calling is to change the narrative here in South Florida. There's so much discrimination against African
Mhm.
American real estate agents. And I just believe that our assignment, Hispanic agents too, a lot of people don't know that there's about 200,000 real estate agents in Florida. Only 7% are African American, only 20% are Hispanic. So that's really major. So what we're
Mhm.
doing here, and how we're developing and growing the agents, that's what's important. That's who I want to recruit. That's who I want to bring on the team. People who have the
Mhm.
passion over the profit and are willing to focus on the people and be coachable. If you're coachable, come on in.
Right. Right. Okay. So you want people who are looking for that guidance and open to that guidance.
Absolutely.
Okay. I hear you on that. I mean, I think I've definitely had some professional opportunities where that coachability is a key factor to success, because sometimes people who have had a whole lot of success don't really need what you're offering them. And they're just shopping around for a better financial arrangement that may not contribute to the culture that you're building. So what
Absolutely.
other projects are you working on that you want to share with us?
So I am public speaking.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. I just had a public speaking engagement in Orlando. It was amazing on social media. And I also do real estate coaching. We'll be rolling out a retreat for new real estate brokers the first quarter of next year, along with real estate coaching services. So I coach outside of Elite Realty Partners, and I
Okay.
do also have speaking engagements available.
So your coaching is targeted towards agents or people who want to get in the business but may not sign up under your license.
So if you're not in Florida, those are my coaching clients. So I have
Okay.
people who call me from Texas, Carolina, all over, to be honest with you, and they consult with me. So I'm telling all of them first quarter of 2022, we'll be rolling out the coaching so they can actually benefit, because there's so many agents that are really lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. So I will be extending those services to everybody outside of Florida, all of the real estate agents outside of Florida, first quarter of 2022.
So do you have any words of wisdom for anyone who's out there who might be feeling discouraged, who hasn't been able to capitalize on the tremendous boom in house prices and the very fierce sellers market in South Florida? What would be the first step for someone who's feeling discouraged but is very passionate? Because I'm imagining that it's like a few tweaks and maybe they can get there.
Oh yeah, don't quit. You know, to whom much is given, much is required. I say this all the time. To whom much is given, much is required. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know, being an elite realty partner doesn't just consist of the agents within the team. It's all of the buyers and sellers or anybody who we come in contact with. And elite means a select group of people who are superior to the rest. So you have to know that if you truly are in pursuit of being elite, you're going to have to go through the fire. Right? It's not going to be easy, and just trust and believe the process, because to whom much is given, much is required. Don't quit too early, because you may be quitting right before your breakthrough.
Right. I definitely can agree with the importance of persistence. We can do hard things, and a lot of people give up too early in the game and they miss all of the benefit of their hard work.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you joining us tonight. Now, tell us again where we can find you online at your_favorite_broker and at
Yeah,
Elite Realty Partners.
absolutely. On Instagram, your_favorite_broker, or on Instagram, Elite Realty Partners. Even Facebook, you can find me, Tenisha Williams, or Elite Realty Partners on Facebook as well. I'm also on LinkedIn, Tenisha Williams. You can find me there. Our brokerage is also on Twitter, Elite Realty Partners.
Well, what do you tweet about? I'm trying to like navigate Twitter, and I just feel like it's a bad neighborhood. People are so crazy out there.
We just list our properties. We list our
Okay.
properties. We advertise our properties. But Instagram is my baby. Instagram is my baby. Majority of our agents come from Instagram.
Okay, so they
Majority of
slide into your DMs, and then and the rest is history after they slide in your DMs.
They click that link.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so impressed. I just am so honored to get to sit in this chair and interview people like you. You're very inspirational. I always come away from these chats feeling like I can do more than what I'm doing. And
Wow.
It's a real inspiration. So I'm so happy for you and your family's success. I think it's really beautiful. And thank you so much for taking time to share your insights with us tonight. And it's really just a blessing to be able to talk to people like you. Very, very, very fortunate. So thank you so much. This show has been, oh, yeah, please go ahead.
I am so humble. I am so grateful. Thank you so much, Brigette. Just having the opportunity to spread wisdom. It's all about each one, teach one. And as long as we continue to do that, I believe that we will continuously elevate from here. So thank you so much. Continue to be great. This was an amazing show. Thank you.
Thank you. This show is sponsored by Demesman and Dover Accident Attorneys and the Florida Lottery. Please watch our other MIA Media Group shows on Mondays, The Business of Black Business at 1 p.m. with Jay Reynolds. On Tuesdays with me, My Money, Your Money at 7 p.m. Wednesday, Soul at 7 p.m. with Nikki Gellin. Thursdays, Lunch with Legacy Leaders at noon with Anne-Marie Sorrell. And also on Thursdays, Flavor of South Florida at 7 p.m. with the legendary Chef Irene. Be well, and let's close this wealth gap together.